Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from an upcoming tribute concert to the music of Johnny Mercer at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. Wes Habley's here. Wes, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Nice to see you. And back for a return engagement, Josh Sazon. We talked with, what was it, Josh? Just about a month ago.
About a month ago, yes.
For the play with the Iowa City Community Theater, Inherit the Wind.
That's right.
Which I saw, and you were luminescent.
Oh, dear God. Are you sure that was the right show that you saw?
Oh, it was great. It was great fun. And it was fun for me to see you as just kind of a straight stage actor, because I think of you as a director and being,
Right.
Involved in all of these musical shows. So it was great fun.
Oh.
But also nice to see you back in what I kind of think of as your more accustomed role.
Yes, it's good to be back behind the scenes again.
So this is kind of a back by popular demand
Yes.
thing, because what was it, about 6 months ago we did the Cole Porter feature?
Yep. In September, we did Cole Porter with a big band and 3 vocalists, and the response was very positive from audience participants as well as from the Coralville Center in terms of coming back to us to say what's next. And this is what's next.
And it's hard to argue with it, but what led you to Johnny Mercer as the next one, Josh?
We ran out of composers. Simple as that. No, and in fairness too, I think while the show will showcase the lyrics of Johnny Mercer, it also showcases the music of a heck of a lot of other composers, probably not as well known as the Gershwins or the Berlins or the Porters of the world, but certainly some wonderful stuff by Harold Arlen, Henry Mancini, Harry Warren, Jerome Kern. These are not necessarily the best known names, but they still come out with wonderful stuff.
They get around.
It depends. It really depends.
It depends on the audience.
Yeah,
Sir,
if they have your hair color, you probably know it.
That's right. And and where you are right now, those are definitely familiar names to our listening audience. But a little bit of a different flavor, because the previous Cole Porter was the words and music, and this is Mercer just the lyricist, and the music was by other people.
Right. Yes.
And same 3 vocalists again?
No, we still have 2 female vocalists. We still have Marcia Hughes, Katie Halverson, and we have David Rhyme, who has actually performed with us in some other iterations of our concerts in previous years. So it's great to have him back as well.
And Wes, you're directing the band?
I sure am, yes.
Yeah, so you got a full big band?
A full big band.
Some of our usual suspect friends in there, probably?
Suspects. It was kind of interesting because when we discovered we were going to do the show again, I went out and communicated with the band and asked, do you want to do it again? And within 24 hours, I had 13 people say yes. And if you know how difficult it is to corral musicians for specific dates, that they really enjoyed what they were doing.
Yeah,
so.
no, I've never had that experience.
No, not at all.
Never. Yeah, we've never put together any musical events here and tried to work around the schedule of many different people.
Yes.
So when you settled on Mercer, was that kind of a joint decision between the two of you? Was it pretty obvious, or did you bat around some ideas before you landed on Johnny?
We batted around some ideas, but frankly, Josh has been a Mercer aficionado for quite some time, and it didn't take him long to convince me that this would be the next show.
All right, so Josh, then tell me about kind of your history with Johnny Mercer. When did when we hear these songs in the beginning, like Moon River, perfect example. Most of us, it's a Henry Mancini song,
right?
And you probably heard that hundreds of times before you really tumbled to the fact that there was somebody else involved.
Yep. It was when I first ran into the music of Moon River, the sheet music of it. It was music by Henry Mancini and lyrics by Johnny Mercer. Who the heck is Johnny Mercer? So you do a little bit of digging and realize not only did he do Moon River, he also wrote The Days of Wine and Roses, again with Mancini, again another Academy Award winner. And then you keep on digging and you find out, oh, he didn't just do the 60s stuff with Mancini and other folk, but he has a catalog going back to the 30s, all the way back to the 30s, and composed with quite a few other different composers. So that was a nice little dig in there. And the more you dig, you find out that he was actually a vocalist, and a very good one as well. He was as popular as Sinatra or Bing Crosby back in the day. He was quite the radio personality. And I think his vocal stylings still hold up very well, although he's hardly known as that these days. Also, he actually, with a couple of other folks, decided to develop Capitol Records, which some people may recognize.
That's right. Yeah. Co-founded Capitol Records.
Nat Cole and a lot of other vocalists. Sinatra eventually ended up in Capitol Records, and some of his classic recordings were from that with that company as well. And the Beatles, if you like to throw that in there as well.
Yeah, they were involved there somewhere along the line. Yeah.
So I mean, he is quite he has quite an impact on popular music, but more than that, I think it's the material itself. He is wonderfully literate. He may not be necessarily as quote unquote clever as Cole Porter or Stephen Sondheim, but I think his material still holds up incredibly well.
Well, we said all those names, all those titles are still very familiar to us.
Oh, sure.
Many decades after their composition, and well-deserved spots in the Great American Songbook. What did you pick out any lesser known chestnuts, or maybe songs that people will be surprised when they realize they were Mercer songs?
Ooh. Well, one of his first hits, I don't know if many people are familiar with, it's called Lazy Bones. It was written with Hoagy Carmichael, and it has a very lackadaisical, laid-back kind of feel to it, which is what you'd expect with a title like Lazy Bones. So that's relatively obscure. What other obscure?
Well, one of the ones that comes to my mind that people might not know about is Jeepers Creepers. We're covering that, and we're covering Goody Goody in the show, and they're people will be very, very surprised at the number of songs that they know but don't attribute to Johnny Mercer.
Sure.
I think that's probably what we'll find out. Yep.
It's Moon River, the Songs of Johnny Mercer, March 23rd, Saturday night at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. Now, is this just pure concert format? I mean, Josh, obviously you are a font of knowledge about Johnny Mercer. Is there, is there material in between the songs a little?
Yeah, what we usually do with these, and not just Johnny Mercer, but in the other concerts that we've done, I usually put in a little background information, just put the songs into the proper context, which is always fun, and it seems that people do appreciate that.
How do we get tickets?
You can get tickets by contacting Coralville Arts, and the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts has an online ticketing system.
Right. You can email them. I believe the site is coralvillearts.org.
Right.
And you can buy tickets online or visit the box office as well.
Yes, either one is fine, and I'm sure there'll be seats available the night of the show. But
all right. Again, it's the 23rd. It's the music of Johnny Mercer and all his many collaborators with a full big band and singers, including a great friend of the show and of the station, Marcia Hughes.
Yes.
Also was in your play that we were talking about a little bit earlier on. It's you're seeing a lot of each other these days.
Yes,
you and the Hugheses spending a bunch of time together.
We like bonding with each other. What can I say?
well, Marcia also did Follies with us a year ago.
Right.
And Scott actually played Santa Claus in Elf a year ago in December. So, yes, we're actively engaged with the Hughes.
Well, you can see them and everybody else at the show on the 23rd of March. And I suspect on the 24th of March, you'll have to start planning for the next one in the series.
We've already talked about possible themes. As a
Oh,
matter
do
of
you?
fact.
Oh, do you want anything you want to spill?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, we don't want to spoil it for the next time around. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for being with me today.
Thank you.
Again, you can get tickets at coralvillearts.org for Moon River, the Songs of Johnny Mercer, coming up March 23rd at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or using your favorite podcast player. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. I'm Dennis Green. I'll talk to you later.